Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are still intervening in Switzerland, still working on getting migration controls enacted. I feel very confident that that's going to finish. And we're going to try to get the Social Democrats the majority, because I don't want to be stuck with the Agrarian Party again. This is a for sure win. Our army's finally got its organization mostly up at this point. So I'm feeling pretty hopeful about our ability to support the suffragists in this war. Because we definitely want universal suffrage around this place. Wait a minute. It's only have census suffrage. Hold on, what happened? Did I completely goof this? No, that was an internal movement. That wasn't... Weird. Okay, maybe I've misunderstood what's happening here. That's okay. Alright. Trade agreement with Brazil. No thank you. Let's not. I'm going to improve relations with, the Swiss bourgeois revolt. That's what I'm going to use my influence on. And we'll see if we can one-step this situation. Almost there. And it's looking like we're going to win. And there's migration controls. We got 58% control of Switzerland. And there is central planning. Fight for the franchise. Burkhard Closet has begun a campaign emphasizing the Social Democratic Party's pro-franchise platform, promising greatly expanding voting rights for all segments of society if the party is elected. My esteemed colleagues, what do you have to fear from an empowered people? Can you say that you embrace the people looking upon what you have done and being as proud as you are? Form an electoral coalition with other pro-franchise candidates. 10% momentum for the Social Democrats, increased pop support for census and universal suffrage. Burkhard Closet gets increased popularity, or only the Social Democratic Party can truly serve the people. I'm going to go with the second one. That's going to get them a boatload of extra momentum. And once the week turns over, we'll see if that means... That does put them at the majority. Excellent. Bahrain wants to give us investment rights. No, thank you. I am all good, sir. I am doing just fine. The United States is getting involved in Oldenburg. Not sure how that's going to go down, but I'm probably going to not get involved. Unless it looks like a bunch of European powers are going to step in and get fighty about that. I don't really count Saxony as a major, so I'm gonna not involved in that. Alright, Switzerland is good to go. So do I absolve their obligation? I don't think so. Do I offer them a take-on debt? They would not accept. We'll live. We'll live. Alright. Let's see. What else? Still keeping an eye on movements. Ooh. Well, we have some options here now. Total segregation would be quite good. Sorry, total separation. Racial segregation would be better than national supremacy, though. Let me see. If I do this, there's going to be a stall chance. Let's go ahead with it. Majourteen has got wage subsidies. Interesting. That seems not like a great plan at this stage, though. Hey, Siak, frickin' do homesteading, you nerds. You've got a huge movement. You've got the rural folk in power. Do it. Banjar. You got a protectionism movement. I don't want to get involved in Banjar again. Eventually, Siak has gotten started. Alright, interesting. Okay, that's fine. You can go to racial segregation eventually. I understand if you're working on other things. Oh, no, they're doing it now. Alright, wonderful. That's great. Oh, and there's concrete dockyards. Alright, that is beautiful. So now, we are going to get our ports over to the modern ports method. That's going to give us a bunch more convoys, right? It's going to give us a bunch more convoys, right? Yeah, there we go. Again, feels like it should be more. We should be getting... Oh, it was only like 25 more per level. Now, we have some government admins we can convert over to a better production method, and that's going to give us a bunch more administrative capacity. So let's go ahead and hit the button on that. Obviously, it's going to cost us a pile of cash, as you can see. But, now that we've got that, we can start increasing workers' rights. I'm going to immediately go up to level 3, and we'll see how things are looking at the end of that. We're continuing to increase standard of living, which is excellent. And that'll also lead to increased population growth, which I'm pretty excited about. Man over machine. Members of the Agrarian Party have expressed their concerns about technology replacing the independence and dignity of manual labor. Would you trust the education of your children to a machine, or the wellness of your body? Then why should we trust them with the labor of our land? The food we eat, the fellowship, the hard work, the cooperation that comes from agriculture, those are the foundations of our society, and progress cannot, and shall not, replace them. We shouldn't compromise the work of our people, extra momentum for the Agrarian Party, happier rural folk. Our progress always finds a way to reduce momentum for the agrarians. I'm going to go with the second one. I want to keep the Social Democrats growing in strength, and they sure are. So I think at this point, I've managed to successfully ensure a win for the Social Democrats. So we'll bring that. How did this happen? I just maxed out convoys. Hold on. All right. So that's the election. Jan Kogels is no longer in power. He's been replaced with Philip DeVille. So let's go ahead and reform the government. We want. So interesting. I could have the. I'm going to just put the intelligentsia and the trade unions in there. The Agrarian Party can be out because I've got a fully legitimate government. Philippe DeVille is a social democrat aligned with the trade unions. He is honorable and an engineer. So what does that let us do? We can go to Council Republic. This will lead to a big war. We'll leave that be for now. We can also go to women's suffrage. I think... Let me see, the only people... There would be a small number of people big mad about women's suffrage, but I think we got to do it. The trade unions would approve, and they're the ones we need. The Catholic Church will be a little salty, the landowners will be a little salty, but I think it just makes sense. I can also go to protected speech. I haven't used suppression in a while, but that one's likely to be a more difficult fight. And women's suffrage is likely to be a lot easier. We will have a counter movement, I suspect. We'll see how that goes. But for now, we'll forge on ahead. Currently, we're researching the Dreadnought. Let me see. What else do we need? I kind of would love steam to... Oh, I need plastics. That's what I need. I don't have enough... I don't have enough glass in my customs union, and that's the best way to get more glass. That's what I need. I need household plastics. Alright, beautiful. Huzzah! It's 1900, and we're researching plastics. Life is good. Slovak mass immigration. Alright, so Great Britain took all this territory. What are you going to do with all that territory? Great Britain, hopefully, create a state of the native inhabitants to rule on their own? That seems right. I don't know if direct rule from London is going to work in Bosnia, in Serbia, or Albania any better than a direct rule from Constantinople worked. Or is it Istanbul? We'll find out. Yeah, we're short on... Tell you what, do I have investment ability in Sind? I do, but they're out of space. What about... Where can I get some opium? Where can I get some opium around here? Alright, France, what are you actually still fighting about here? In this situation? You just got the one war. Let me see. You're looking to conquer Gyeonggi. Interesting. And Great Britain, because Gyeonggi is here. You're going to cut Korea in half. France, that's so rude. Why would you do this? Why would you do this, France? I can't believe this. Cash is going way up now. Why is this happening? Oh, because our income taxes came back. Because the debuffed taxation that we took has run its course. Alright, we'll definitely need to increase the size of the construction sector, but for now... Journal of Philosophical Studies. Members of the Philosophy Department for the University of Wallonia have signed a petition for government funding for their next project, a scientific journal. With the foundation of our philosophical studies, we welcome a new era in the scrutiny of the mind, an era of rigorous research and serious experimentation, an era of scientific collaboration among our foreign colleagues, a safe haven in which all investigations pertaining to this topic can be shared. We have no resources for this, or fund the journal. No resources means academic pops in Wallonia become radical, which isn't that bad. Fund the journal costs us a pile of cash, but it also means extra prestige and progress towards psychoanalysis. I'm going to do the second one. Oh, and that finishes out psychoanalysis. Wonderful. I probably should have checked before. It doesn't matter. Cause without a rebel. Although André de Labéville, our radical in the intelligentsia, is still fighting for his cause, no one is following him anymore. Despondent, de Labéville has started remarking publicly that he may give up on his activism altogether. Radical doesn't affect voting rights for women. No, it does not. Alright. What's the point? Speakers, when we have any, speak to empty halls and in empty chairs. There's no crowds, no banners. If anyone pays attention at all, they never understand what we're preaching. What reason is there to stay here? We're all stuck doing nothing. Perhaps de Labéville can find greener pastures elsewhere. He's exiled. Or no time for timidity. The movement needs drastic changes. I'm going to exile him. I don't need this movement for protected speech right now. Accidental good press for Scandinavia. Private correspondence exchanged by members of the Anti-Scandinavian League has been published in pamphlets. The letters praise Scandinavia, contrary to the intentions of the intelligentsia. Frustration brews at the gathering of all the Anti-Scandinavian League members. Many are quick to blame the intelligentsia for this mishap, with a series of pamphlets distributed without their sanction. One member challenges the fervor of the group. Yes, this was not our intention, but is this not one minor setback in our grand undertaking? Good press for Scandinavia is harmless, improves relations with them, makes the movement salty. Or the intelligentsia should pull any remaining pamphlets. This makes the intelligentsia more loyalist. I'm going to go with the second one. I think that's just fine. Alright, the suffrage. 27% success chance, 55% advance chance. Let's see what happens. Daily disruption. A debate. A grand suffrage protest is meant to take place at factories across the country. It will increase the popularity of the women's suffrage law, but would likely upset many workers. It may annoy some of the workers, but a little dissatisfaction among the populace is worth it to get these important issues on everyone's mind. Ignore the workers, 5% of machinists and laborers in the whole country become more radical, but 20% enactment chance. Or we can move our protest 10% enactment chance. You know what? A few radicals is not going to be a problem. I'm going to hit that first button. Let's see what it affects. There are 80k radicals and 10 million loyalists. We lost about 500,000 loyalists, but that's not that bad. We're still doing really, really solidly from a loyalism-radicalism ratio here. So I'm feeling pretty rock solid. We got multilateral alliances spreading, and we're still a little short on convoys. I'm building up a ton of stuff here, including all of these millet farms. Tell you what, I for sure need more convoys. That's not even a question at this point. We're just going to go ahead and max them right out. We're going to max out convoys in our home territory. That is never going to be the wrong call at this stage of the game. So, let's go ahead and throw the ones in Friesland at the top. And we're still building these railways. Yes, we are. Very good. And the reason I'm doing this in this way is because I want to make sure these get built before I run out of infrastructure in those territories. We got a United Tribes civil war. I'm probably going to ignore that, but I'll at least look at the situation. Movement for protected speech is over. Alright. The children do want old age pensions. I should give them that. Still got a rock-solid amount of bureaucracy here. Grassroots support for the law. Wonderful. The political wills and desires of the lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for women's suffrage is spread like wildfire across the United Netherlands, spurred on by charismatic speakers and lively debates in small-time social clubs. They're backing what now? Well, who are we to complain? While their support was never a prerequisite for success, it sure doesn't hurt to have it either. Public enthusiasm expedites reform, 10% stronger trade unions, 20% increase in enactment success chains. Or use the common ground to calm the masses, 20% of lower stern pops and Flanders become more loyalist. I don't need a lot more loyalists, so I'm actually going with the first one. 10% stronger trade unions is very, very good. So, how is the effort to get racial segregation going in Ethiopia? It's going pretty alright. Measure teen. You got a wage subsidies movement. Ooh, you got an agrarianism movement. Oh, heck yes. Rural folk and industrialists. Absolutely. Get the heck out of traditionalism. Measure teen. Fix yourself. Get it together. Meanwhile, Siak is still working on homesteading. They're at 57%, which is pretty good. This is Futa Toro. Alright, Majertina said yes to that. Wonderful. I'm going to ignore this. France has got this one handled. Britain's got this one handled. France has got this one handled. France, you never should have took the Ionians. That's going to cause you nothing but trouble. Bruce Gooseberry? Bruce Gooseberry? Oh, I am so sad this isn't an historical character. I kind of want to bring him in just for on principle's sake, because that's a tremendous name. Mr. Gooseberry, please do come in. He's a communist. I'm playing with fire here, I have to say. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just let the meme live its own life for now. Alright, so that was a mistake. Hold on a moment. I made a mistake. I wanted to get all the ones in Holland at the top of the queue. Make sure the railways are still up there. Alright, perfect. That's where I want to be. This is where I want to be. Oh, not loving the way that that's come together here. Alright, maybe we'll just leave that for the time being. We'll just let everything pass by there and hope that sorts itself out. Don't want to have myself a problem. No org due to not having any units. That's not great. You know what? I need to put a unit in each of these armies. So we'll go ahead and reduce the size of the first army. And we'll throw one infantry unit into each of these other armies as a regular force. And what that's going to do is once those armies have hired, that'll allow once those barracks have been built and hired, that'll allow them to regain organization, and that'll be what I want. All right, beautiful. So we've gotten to study for women's suffrage. That is rock solid. This convoy situation is feeling really rough. I got too many export routes. That's really what's happening here. Oh boy. Oh, the construction queue is having a hard time. The construction queue is doing its best. Oh boy, I might have to actually just run the construction queue out and hope that it sorts itself out. Wow, cash is huge. I've got a little bit of extra influence. Nicaragua wants to let us invest, but I would prefer to improve relations with Majertine, so that's what I'm going to do. They're very loyal. The Greeks are going after the Ottomans again. Greece, you're worried. Why are you worried? Ah, because the Prussians and the Austro-Hungarians are going to use this as an opportunity to shoot at each other. Yep, there's Austria-Hungary with Greece. Prussia, you're for sure going to align with the Ottomans. I hope. I hope you're going to align with the Ottomans. Okay, here we go, yeah. Oh, Greece is a... Greece became a... No, was already a subject. Interesting. Scandinavia aligns with the Ottomans. Okay. And now the Prussians don't want to anymore. That's curious, because the Prussians will take almost any opportunity, again, to shoot at the Austro-Hungarians. I don't want to get involved until Prussia gets involved, though, because... Ooh, law progressed to voting. Wonderful. Again, I don't want to get involved until the Prussians get involved, because I don't want to lose my defensive pact with them. Interesting. Things are quite curious over here. Ooh, Bulgarian mass immigration. It's sensible, if we're being honest. Good plan to move somewhere that's not about to be in a war. Somewhere that doesn't have enough opium. Wow, where can I get some opium? Okay, all right. So now the Prussians are involved. Do I want to? Which way? Okay, only Egypt is still leaning. The Prussians are involved inside of the Ottomans. If I align with the Ottomans, what are the consequences going to be? They're going to get Western Thrace and Macedonia back from Greece. Austro-Hungary is going to get humiliated. Whereas if I don't, Greece will get Skopje and Bulgaria, which just seems unfair. What would you give me? Austria-Hungary would give me a bankroll, but I don't want to be on the other side of Prussia under any circumstances whatsoever. But I've got a lot of cash in the bank, an overwhelming abundance, you might even say. So maybe I'll get involved. Maybe I'll get myself involved. Good time to try out my new military production methods, I must say. Let me see, where are we in the episode? We're getting close to the end. You know what? I would like to be involved in this situation. I shall support the Ottomans. Should I do as I've been doing, or should I do a proper mobilization? I think... I'm only going to do as we've been doing right now. And I will go ahead and send the first army to the Balkans. And I will send the secondary armies to Prussia to support the front there. And then the Marine Royale will go to... Oh, we've got multiple fronts in the Balkans, actually. But I think this is the main one. The Marine Royale will go to the Mediterranean to help. Workplace safety is up. Excellent. And we'll leave the Second Dutch Army in the United Netherlands to defend the front. Trade agreement broken with Austria-Hungary because we're going to be in a war. Relations are still rock solid, though, so I'm not too worried about that. Excellent. And this situation, I think I can safely... in Kutch, I think I can safely... By the way, kudos to Kutch for having their name on their flag. That's really rock solid. I'm going to set these armies to defense for now. Second army needs another leader. Let me see. Industrialist guy, not perfect, but he'll do. Third Dutch Army, intelligentsia guy. Excellent. He will do. And then First Dutch Army, definitely need another guy. Rural folk, it's okay. And intelligentsia. 4 guys. 4 guys should be enough. You know what? We'll do it. We'll do a proper mobilization. We're mobilizing everybody. This is the great battle of our time, in the words of very important British philosopher Gandalf. Alright, rousing speech captivates the public. This afternoon, Philippe DeVille, leader of the trade unions, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of women's suffrage. Making an appearance before the public in Brussels' main square, Philippe DeVille's powerful rhetoric left even his most embittered political opponents impressed. Excerpts from the speech are already being circulated across the United Netherlands, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. This should ease the path to reform greatly, 15% enactment chance. Our performances like this reflect well on Philippe DeVille and his cause. 10% enactment chance, but stronger trade unions and Philippe DeVille becomes more popular. I'm going to do the second one. That's going to give me a little bit of extra authority, which is going to make my opposition groups happier. Alright, enforced comparisons are looking good on all of our fronts. The Greeks are winning on defense, but we're still mobilizing. You know, we'll get more units in here. So in terms of tech, I think once we finish with plastics, what's the over-under on military? I still need destroyer, submarine, and war propaganda in order to get NCO training. NCO training will be 4 years if I don't wait on those other things. So maybe I think we'll work on other stuff. Pneumatic tools is extra construction sector throughput, and that's definitely good. Ooh, no. Actually, more important than that is mechanized farming. Then pneumatic tools. That'll be perfect. That's enough to be going on with for now. Ooh, enforced comparisons are actually looking better here on the Prussian front. I'm going to leave my units on defense because I don't feel like I'm really a primary driver of action going on over there. And France is still fighting Britain because that can't end until either the Danish or the British give up. That's like to be a real forever war. Let me see, how are things going in this war? Let me see, we got about 2 million dead on the Danish and French side, and about 2.5 million dead, sorry, not dead, dead and wounded on the British and vassals side. So that's, yeah, suffice to say things are going pretty rough over there. Language in the classroom. Lacustrine Bantu students sometimes use their native language in Dutch schools. Some have called for teachers to penalize the use of this language, forcing children to speak the official language of the United Netherlands. You noticed it too, right? He gets angry when anyone talks in class, but he always gets angrier when we're talking. Maybe he thinks we're talking about him. I just think he doesn't like being reminded that we know something he doesn't. Schools should teach them the proper language. 10% of Lacustrine Bantu pops in the country become more radical, extra assimilation, extra radicals from discrimination, or their language is part of their heritage. Bunch of interest groups mad. Reduced assimilation, reduced radicals from discrimination. I'm going to go with the first one. I don't want to upset my interest groups. How are we doing on the episode? We're getting near to done. It's going to be a slightly shorter episode, but I think that'll basically be fine. Let me do one last look at what I want to build in our customs union. I definitely need more lead. So, where can I get lead? Siak, got any lead capacity? I'm going to need to look in the state in order to figure this out. No. Any lead in the ground in Borneo? Yes. There sure is. Let's see. How are we with infrastructure? We're doing just fine with infrastructure here. We'll go ahead and build a railway and a bunch of lead mines. No, actually, we'll build up gold mine capacity first because gold mines are very good for the economy. Iron demand is still pretty high. Let's see if we've got some iron in our other subjects. We've definitely got some in Somalia and Majertine. If we build 15 levels, that'll be 30 infrastructure. Those mines are still 2 infrastructure a pop, right? Yes. Alright. So we'll go ahead and build a railway here as well. And we'll throw that in at the top of the queue. And then we'll max out the iron mines here. There we go. I know they're not profitable, but they will be. They will be. What about Ethiopia? Does Ethiopia have any iron capacity? Hey, there's women's suffrage. Wonderful. Deeds, not words. Excellent. Doesn't appear to be any. Marina Kingdom? Seems not. Interesting. I've got to have some more iron mining capacity across the rest of the Netherlands, don't I? Suppose I may not. Goodness, it's really all in Wallonia, isn't it? These mines are maxed out. I actually really need compression ignition. Ugh. I need compression ignition. It's hot and fresh out the kitchen. But I need all these tier 4s before I can get research and... that's not... yeah, nope. Not time for a rap career for DeGenCat, that's for sure. Alright. Any other iron in my... Siak, you might have some iron. You got oil. So that's something I need to keep in mind. And all y'all have rubber capacity as well. I've got some iron in North Borneo. So how are we for infrastructure here? We're just fine. I will need to do... we'll do a couple levels of railways even so. And then we'll max out the iron mines. And that'll be just fine. Fine mines. Ugh. I'll never quit my day job. If this channel becomes ridiculously successful, I might quit my day job. But me quitting my day job, chances are not high. That said, that is going to be it for this episode. My nerds, I've had fun. I hope you've had fun, and I will see you on the other side.